Buenos dias. Welcome back to Rise and Shine, where you are seen, supported, and ready to rise. Today, it's gonna be a yummy one. We're gonna go into who we really are, and there's a little trick to it that I painfully find out often. So stay tuned. Buenos dias. Welcome to the Rise and Shine broadcast. And let's get right into it because, boom, guess what? I had asked, who is your mirror? Can you guys see that picture? That cute little thing right there is my pup. Let me know if you could see it. It should be right up there on the left. Who is your mirror? Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you're like, I don't know who I am, I'm having identity issues. Well, maybe pay attention to your children, to your dog, to your spouse, because there is something powerful in stopping to see that. So I like to start with story time because story time is where I want to be cooking every time. So, okay, so here's the latest that I got to share, which is the obvious one, right? But this one's back. I might have said it in the show before, but it started with me asking Jimmy or somewhere in that conversation if I was stubborn, right? And my answer was like, Psh, not like you. Who can relate to that? Okay. Yeah, who can relate to passing that blame to your spouse, especially your husband, right? Raise your hand. Where are you? All right. So, hey, am I stubborn? Something like that, right? I was like, never, not like you. I mean, and that answer is kind of like very cheap because I'm like halfway admitting I am, but then boom, right there, I'm like stabbing him right back. Not as bad as you. Okay, come on, let's just be honest. Let's be transparent here. So I went on. That might have been like either the same day or the night before. I go and take Poppy on a walk, this cute little thing right there. At that time, she was a puppy. She was smaller. Right here, she looks like a giant. Seriously. Um, and we're walking, and there's like a piece of like Italian bread on the sidewalk, and she dove right. She did like she does. She thinks she's a deer. If you know my dog, she thinks she's a deer. So she like jumped like Poppy, no. And literally I felt like she grabbed the piece of bread and she just came into the room. She's like, hey, you're talking about me. She leaped, jumped, grabbed the bread and looked at me and swallowed it. Yeah, that little cute thing right there. And I was like, you were so stubborn. And oh, actually, oh my gosh, guys, I'm getting the story mixed up here. Okay, wait. I didn't Let me back up a second. It was my grandma. Oh, rest in peace. It was my grandma who had told me a story. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I am messing up. I'm sorry. Let's keep the story because this is how it goes. Anyway, Poppy grabs it, looks at me dead in the eye. And I come home and I tell Jimmy, ah, why is this dog so stubborn? And that's when I remember my grandma. I have a picture of her. That's when I remember my grandma. She's actually in our channel, guys. We have several of her videos. Actually, not several, more like three, but two specifically interviews with my grandma. But anyway, I Poppy, I'm telling a story. I'm not sure why she's so upset. Anyway, she likes to bark at people who who walk in our backyard. We live in a condo. That's not our backyard. It's a condo. We share. Anyway, she thinks everything's hers. Anyway, my mamita, that's what we call grandma, share a story that when I was young, she remember coming over, and she, I guess, apparently, which I don't remember, my dad had made like a little kitchen in Peru. I guess like the garage is kind of really part of the house. I don't even know how to explain it. There was a stove. There was a stove for her, and she had a little room supposedly, which again I don't remember. I don't remember any of this, but what she said is that I kept going to the stove, and I guess I'm a little wild child. I kind of wanted to put my hand where the fire was, and she kept saying no. And my grandma, I actually don't remember this. She said she yelled at me. And I don't remember that. I had really good memories of my grandma growing up, so I don't remember any yelling whatsoever. But supposedly she yelled at me, and I ran away and I cried. And when my dad got home, I told my dad that grandma yelled, mamita me gritó, or something like that, right? And he goes, why? Because I was trying to touch the fire, and supposedly he told me, well, there you go, you're not supposed to. So fast forward to like that moment when I get back from my walk with Poppy. It hit me like a lightning. Who was being the stubborn one while I had somebody telling me, no, don't touch, don't do this, don't. I mean, how many of us can relate when somebody tells you don't, you actually want to do it even more? I mean, come on. Can we all like just talk about our rebellious side? So that's the story of today, early in the morning, as we open up this topic. Who is your mirror? So is there any little thing crawling around your house or walking, running that you can put like your hand in your heart and say, Dad, that's what I do, right? And so that's like the obvious, not the obvious, but like that's the story I want to share about my dog, because man, these little creatures really are our mirror. And happy Monday. Did I even say that? Happy Monday and buenos dias to you. And what are we drinking today? Before we get right into it, I am drinking out of my YSuperstars mug. This is my cafecito. It got cold. My cafecito got cold. All right. All good. All good. All good. I could do without cafecito being that warm. Unless somebody wants to heat it up for me or give me more coffee. Is there like a magic coffee brewer around the house? Because it would be so cool to tell a dad joke. Anyway, guys, I said that we're going to skip the dad jokes. Listen, you have a dad joke, you got to just come and send me a video, okay? Because I'm not really good at these things. Are you good at these things? Are you going to tell me a dad joke?
No.
All right. That was Jimmy and Poppy joining me today. My little posse in the back. Yeah. All right. So let's jump into what I'm discovering these days. And like I mentioned in our first episode in season 5, which I want to bring up to you guys, is this book. Should I put it in this side? Yeah. No, I'm gonna put it here. Oh wow, everything's so backwards. Oh, okay, I have to go like this. Yes, guys, sorry, I'm learning the new camera set. Which is right here. There it is. Wait, somebody has a joke.
Oh, it's a delay. Why did the psychic chicken cross the road?
Why did the psychic chicken cross the road?
To get to the other side.
To get to the other side. Guys, do you get it? I don't get it. I'm not. Am I naturally a little airheaded? Possibly, people. Okay. Anyway, Um, so getting back to who we are, I hope that story could bring some reflection if you are brave enough to pause for a second and actually watch your surroundings, watch the people around you, where you could see your reflection. And oh man, the song is kind of still coming up. Ugh. I no longer like this artist. Oh, I have his songs all over my YouTube channel. I'm gonna go and delete them. I just gotta find a new song to replace because my channel does not monetize, and apparently he's monetizing when I play that song. And yeah, no, I'm not cool with that. So anyway, I wanted to share from this book about a few. Well, actually, I'm not gonna read all 10, but here's the one that really has hit. If we're gonna step and be brave into taking a look at ourselves, right, with gentle compassion. All right. So actually, let's take yes, last week or Friday we went over the breathing. Would you join me? All right. Yeah. That was yummy. Okay. When we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives. We are ourselves creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. This is my third time going with this amazing book. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, let's bring it back so you guys can see it. It's out of focus. Let's just put it right here. To continue practices, and this is such a beautiful 12-week to start that journey. And I won't like I often want to get right into the point instead of like taking a little journey. But what I can say, if you are interested in this book, is that the 12 weeks is the journey. And it has been for me. It's more of a practice. But back to that quote that I just read, it's actually one of the basic principles that we get to recite every morning and every evening. Why? And this is why we're talking about affirmations today. It's because repetition is the mother of learning. Man, how old are you? I'm 48. So we've had all this decades of saying certain things about ourselves subconsciously, consciously, through other people, whatever the situation may be, because it really, these are all outside influences, right? But at nighttime, right, when you're closing your eyes between your two beautiful ears, you get to hear some things. So, and I'm not even going to get into what I do and what that practice is. I just want to bring light to the fact that affirmations are to be repeated, not written out in a little quote, a little scripture, or a little something you post once and then forget about it. How can one time compare to the decades of all this negativity that we have carried? Just one little time or one little workshop and a lot of people that come to my workshop, I do give them the challenge to go and do this 5 days. versus, like 12 weeks, but actually she does the same thing. She does 7 days, and she's doing morning and evening. There's something about rising up, right? When we wake up with so much junk like that. It's so much emotion, so much that writing that down. Did you guys hear the accent? Writing that down. You're releasing, and man, it's way more than just thoughts too. Your body absolutely feels it as well. But my encouragement today with the affirmations is to, maybe you are writing or have written affirmations, and maybe it's you're like, it doesn't really work, Patty. I've heard it many times, right? It doesn't work. Could it be that you wrote it once? What if it does work? If you read it and you recite it. Remember that word? I remember when I was young in Peru, listening to that word recite. It was exciting. Recite, exciting, right? To memorize, to repeat, to say things out loud. How my mom, my first day of pre-K, big book bag, big head, Patty. Hola, mi nombre es Patricia Kelly Kinde. She told me this is what you tell them. You tell them who you are. I was a little peanut, maybe 5 years old. Like, what do I know? But guess what? I knew my name. And my mom instilled that. She had me repeat it. She had me repeat my name over and over again. And when I hear the word recite, I remember that. I remember my mother practicing with me and showing me how to shake a hand. I guess that's big for her. We apparently know that it is a big deal for her. It's a big deal how someone shakes my mother's hands. I don't know if that's my grandpa. I don't know whose influence that is, but it's so important. And hey, how about that? How about you reciting who you are? Um, I been telling myself to recite certain things, and I haven't. And now, like, this is what I love about programs or books or challenges. It's like, hey, now she's giving this challenge, and I just read you 2 basic tools. There are 10, a total of 10 basic tools that we are to repeat in the morning and that we are to repeat at nighttime. And so last night I was repeating them, even though like Jimmy's sleeping, Poppy has like one eye open, and and Poppy jumps out of the bed, and I'm looking at her as I'm reciting each one. Oh goodness gracious. I'm just having like all these connections, man. If you're a parent, like, how beautiful is that? To recite affirmations, meaning just statements that are true with your kids. Poppy's not my kid. She's my dog. But she was looking at me. She's like turning her little neck, like she was like listening to those words, and because it's the energy, right? Dogs don't speak English or Spanish. They speak energy. They reflect your energy. They reflect our energy. And how cool would that be, guys? Let me know if that's something that that could be a great exercise. This is when Jimmy and I adopt, or when we have our family, that'd be so cool. And I get to share this video about putting that challenge out there, to those who are listening and to those who are willing to step in courage, really, because it is, guys. Dang it, it is. It takes courage to look at ourselves. I was trying to find that video. I'll put it on the notes. There is a new YouTube channel if you are interested. Actually, I'm not even gonna put it until you ask me. Ask me in the comments. If you're interested of more reflections from older people. And I know I have a ritual on Saturdays. I watch my home-worthy videos. And on Sunday, I'm going to start watching these reflection videos on older people who have experienced life. There's another one. There's called Grandmothers. Wow. And that had me in tears. But anyway, let me know if you are interested. Not everybody want to learn from your elders. But if that's you, then me and you are in the same boat, and who do I want to talk to? And I'm gonna say it again, and if I can, every single show, it's maybe you're here after walking away from something that once limited you, whether that was your thoughts, your spirit, your choices, and I see you. Maybe it was an institution like a church or a school system or a belief system. Or maybe it was a version of yourself you were told was the only way to be loved. But deep inside, you knew that that was not the truth. And today, I want to invite you to repeat who you are, even if it's starting with your name. Even if it's starting with one phrase that you get to share, one affirmation. Let me know. Actually, now I feel like I do want to read just a few more. So to make it like a pool, having a pool of affirmations, saying them out loud and seeing which one resonates has helped me, right? Borrowing another affirmation could, because if they're true to you, saying them out loud and then picking those and then repeating them, to me, is key. And when you do it in the morning, when you do it at nighttime, woo, there's magic. Okay, here's the rest. I gave you 2. Here's the 8 other ones. Okay. Creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. There is an underlying indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. Creativity is God's gift to us. Using that creativity is our gift back to God. The refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. That one hurts. In a good way, right? When we open ourselves to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God, good, orderly direction. As we open our creativity channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. It is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. And lastly, our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards our divinity. And let's start there. This week is identity. We meet back again on Friday. And I know I left the question, what part of our authentic self are you ready to embrace more? So let's focus on the one that you do embrace. And how can we do that more? By adding some repetition this week, in the morning and in the evening. That's my homework. For those who want to join, you could join. This is an amazing book. Again, let me just put it right here. It is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Those are the basic tools. And so I want to, not we. It's only me, guys. Let's remember, let's embrace for what you know is true. Maybe there's a lot of negativity, but what is the one or two things that you hold on to be true about yourself? Out of all that junk, even the little tiny thing. Yeah, I remember being so blind about my appearance, and I always say it's just my legs. No, 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 no. There's more, right? But it's a great start. I don't care. Um, Go beyond that surface. What is it that you like about you? What is it that we could take today? The one thing you hold true. I'm meant to be a writer. I'm meant to be a singer. I'm meant to be a teacher. What is it that you know to be true about you? I'm meant to do numbers, those who want to, right? I'm meant to draw, I'm meant to design. What is it that you hold to be true for yourself? And how can we do a little bit more? How do we say that out loud and practice it every single morning for the next 5 days? Starting today. Because we meet on Friday. I want to know who's doing this. And if you're watching the replay, just let me know in the comments if you have done it for 5 days and come back and share, because that will be absolutely super cool. Remember, your true self is a light that no one else can shine besides you. That one, that you, that's no one else is like you. No one else is like me. Why superstars? That's a question. And it comes from like parents and staff. What do you call these kids superstars? And my answer was always because they are. Simple. No answers. I don't give a crap what you think about me or what that is. Maybe think about it and maybe start treating them like they are. Very serious about that. That I took very seriously. Don't even know where that came from. But that was my conviction response. So thank you for joining me today. Remember, your true self is a light. No one else can shine it but you. And I don't like the word but, but there it is. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. As we go into this week, let me know in the comments, in the chat, somewhere. Call me, text me. Thank you for joining today. I'll see you. I miss my music. Where's my little music? No music. Okay, there we go. All right. Bye, guys. See you on Friday.